myself. I need to look at my awareness and being driven to go and achieve something at the end of lockdown. What am I doing now? How am I balancing my life? How am I dealing with the family issues? How am I dealing with my spirits? How am I connecting to myself? So just touching on awareness, really. And that's really what I wanted to bring to King of Hearts today. That kind of look at who you are, where you're going. I'm not saying forget about being a demon or being the best in any specific area, but take time to be aware of who you really truly are. Mm.
This is the Beats and Balls Show.
So that brings us to the end of today's show. Thank you very much, Simon and Roger, for joining us and sharing your insights with us. What is up next for you guys?
I actually was supposed to be in Cologne next week doing the finals of the EuroLeague Final Fours basketball. So it's like the Champions League of basketball. But obviously that's been cancelled. So, and
Roger, where can we see you next?
Firstly, thanks for having me and Simon and I on the show.
Pleasure.
So when I talk about again what I do for a living, one of the things that interestingly TK Maxx saw value in me is they said because of my experiences, they have a series of what they call the Godfathers. They have a big learning and development team because it's such a unique concept. And part of the reason for me leaving TK Maxx was the fact that they wanted to move me into learning and development because they said, you've got some great stories and you actually deliver them in a really sort of interesting and fun way. So all sorts of things emanate. And so one of the things I really set as an objective going into this unforeseen situation, when I come out of it, I really need to have myself positioned where I want to be going forward. So one of the things I'm looking to do is, we're going to launch an online operation around the business, and in that operation, we've got such an archive of fantastic stuff. And in sort of doing some research for the interview today, I referenced the brand Mitchell & Ness. I don't know if you know Mitchell & Ness and the whole throwback concept that they have, and that's part of the reason why Jordans are so much on trend now, is because there's a real sort of desire to have retro and throwback stuff. And so one of the things that Simon and I have been talking about is all of the great archive footage that we got, all of the content, and actually some great product that we still have. I'm going to literally look to just see that on my own platform, because people working from home and setting up online shops and stuff like that, why wouldn't I do that? Mm-hmm. And just really just look forward to coming out of lockdown and going back into this new world, and just hoping that, people are reinvigorated, that they've taken the opportunities that they've had to spend time with their friends and their families and their loved ones, and really have a clear focus on what really now are the priorities in life. Hopefully, while there's been some negatives out of this, I think there's been some real positives, and we're seeing some real strengths in people, and hopefully in the new world that will be reflected across the mainstream in a much more meaningful way, and embrace my business with that kind of method and approach, and keep having meetings and sharing stories.
Nice, sounds exciting, man. Thanks again to both of you for joining us today, and thanks to all the listeners for tuning in to the podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and leave us a review. It helps us to grow and produce more shows and all that good stuff. You can catch us on Instagram at Beats and Balls, and on Facebook at Beats and Balls. The and is an ampersand. Thanks again for listening, and we will speak to you again soon. But until next time,
Ballers out.
Ballers out.